What's up, YouTubers? I just really wanted to get this off before I went to bed tonight. Everything in here is really important information. Comes from Demon Hunter. Don't let anybody ever take your family out of your house. Ever. In the name of government, don't ever let that happen. And pay with your life if you have to. I'm ready to die if anybody comes trying to take my family out of my house for no damn reason, to take them in the name of some virus. America, don't ever let that happen. So, first thing you're gonna see is some lady, obviously super brainwashed, screaming at this kid about not wearing a mask. Following that, you're gonna see a news report of this lady talking about how they're gonna try to bust people in the apartment complex not wearing a mask, or in their home not wearing a mask, and fine them and jail them on the news. And then right after that, you're gonna see another news guy asking a doctor that why are they putting CV as the cause of death on people who die because of something else that happened to have, the flu. Fuck, dude. And the doctor says, I don't know, it's very concerning, but it's happening. This is serious.
Never has this happened on American soil. Never. And we can't let it happen.
Plato discussed.
Okay, in this video, I'm going to prove to you, using mainstream media's own numbers and logic, that CV-19, I can't say it on this platform or I'll get my channel taken down, is not even close to being deadly enough to shut things down, let alone change your life in the least. Listen to this and pay careful attention to what they say.
We're going to get right to the coronavirus outbreak. As we begin this morning, there are now more than 337,000 cases. And
I want you to look at this chart right here. Move my picture over here. Look at this chart. Total U.S. cases, 337,000. Total U.S. deaths, they say 9,600. Now I want you to look at this. This is from the CDC's own website, and this is only regarding regular influenza that we've all had to deal with all of our lives, and nobody ever shut anything down for it. Let me show you this. This is estimates from the CDC's own site. From October 1st, 2019, there have been 39 to 55 million flu illnesses, not CV-19, just flu. 18 million to 26 million flu medical visits, that taxes the medical industry. 400,000 to 730,000 flu hospitalizations. And get this, guys, the death numbers are 24 to 63,000. Some are saying right now, as of January 1st, 2020, there have been over 30,000 flu deaths in the United States alone. Let me show you these numbers again. They're saying total U.S. deaths for CV-19, the thing that you should freak out about, the thing that you should close your businesses for, the thing that you should obey Bill Gates and Fed Chairman of St. Louis, James Bullard, that you need to get mandatory tests. Oh my God, the world is falling apart for 9,600 people. And those numbers, you can't even rely on them because people who die from other causes. This is coming out every single day in droves. People who died, 80-year-olds who died from a fall. Oh, did they test positive from CV? Okay, we're just going to put on the chart that they died from CV. They can die with it and not of it, and they're going to put them in the category that they died because of it. Completely dishonest. Let's talk about testing. Testing is 80% false positives. 80%, guys. And they're not even improving on those numbers. So we got people dying of other causes that they're putting in the CV number, which is part of this 9,600 number in the United States alone, not to mention what they're doing in the world. They're fudging the numbers. They're trying to get you to freak out over 9,600, which is a fake number. It's much lower than that. Much, much lower than that by their own standard. And yet the CDC says over 31,000 people have died in the United States alone from regular influenza. Ask yourselves, guys, and stay tuned because I'm not done. There's something incredibly wrong going on here. Something incredibly evil. There's an agenda being foisted on us in the name of, and they're pinning it on CV-19. There are people who are responsible for crashing this economy, and they're going to blame it on CV-19, but they're not going to blame it on influenza. And there's something even more deadly than all of this, guys. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But just ask yourself, let me give you kind of a metaphor.
Your ass is grass.
Right.
Do you understand? And if
I'm
you
done with this shit.
So
Tell me who
be
your
looking out for
parents
those
are.
cops.
All right, I will.
Get out of our
I'll be
neighborhood.
looking
You're
at those
supposed to
cops.
be sheltered in place. Go ahead, put me on social media. You're a little punk. Seriously? And seriously, I called the cops. I can't. What
I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
Meanwhile, face coverings while out in public are now mandatory in Riverside County, and residents who don't comply could face a hefty fine. CBS 2's Candace Crone reports from Riverside with more on the new order.
The county is really stepping up its efforts to slow the spread of the coronavirus by fining people who leave their home without wearing a mask. And the fine for violating the order is $1,000 per day per violation.
Can you repeat what you just said, please?
Well, last Friday, I received a 7-page document that sort of told me that if I had an 86-year-old patient that had pneumonia but was never tested for COVID-19, but sometime after she came down with pneumonia, we learned that she had been exposed to her son who had no symptoms, but later on was identified with COVID-19, that it would be appropriate to diagnose on the death certificate COVID-19. Now, we've not done that. If someone has the pneumonia after and it's in the middle of a flu epidemic, and I don't have a test on influenza, I don't diagnose influenza on the death certificate. I will say this elderly patient died of pneumonia.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but my heart is sinking right now as you're telling me this. You're a doctor. Why in the world would they be sending you out information to fill out death certificates, whether the person's been diagnosed with COVID-19 or not, but then to say in the death certificate this person's death was caused by COVID-19? That does not sound right to me.
I went to the person in our office who does most of the death certificates over the last 10, 20 years, and I said, does this sound right? I had her look at the documents that I printed off, and she said, well, we've always been told that you always put down just facts. You don't put down any probabilities. You don't put any presumptions down. It's just what you know. And so this is concerning. And it actually gets to your point, Chris. When we start talking about the data that goes into the modeling, we have to ask ourselves a question. Are we being forthright? Are we sharing with the public? Minnesota, North Dakota, we don't need to be having it sugar-coated. We want to know what's going into your modeling.
So with that being said, why would they want to skew the number of deaths due to COVID-19?
Well, fear is a great way to control people. And fear is a great way to control people. And fear is a great way to control people. And I worry about that. I worry that sometimes we're so darn interested in just jazzing up the fear factor.